Hi, I will show you how to cook Asian pumpkin. These are the Asian pumpkin I actually grew in my garden. You see that how this big, and this is kind of like a more of a pear shape, smaller. And actually, these grew in the same plant. Uh, so it's kind of question is that why they're two different shapes. So the reason that pumpkin needs lots of water during summer when it grows. So they started to grow when there was a drought, so it didn't have enough water. So that's why the pumpkin didn't grow that big, and eventually its maturity stayed in a smaller shape. But this is actually grew when there was enough rain so this actually formed a bigger shape. And as you see that this is a brown, so this is actually older, and was not totally. So I collect them in fall. So these pumpkin, like butternut squash, they have a rind, very hard shell rind. So they are protected. If you store in a colder place, you could store it for 4 or 5 months, depending on how mature this is. This will last longer. This is probably a little less. So what I do is that these, in terms of taste, they are close to butternut squash, but they are less sweeter than butternut squash. So I actually like this pumpkin over butternut squash. And if you cut it one, you could actually cook 3 dishes in 3 different days. It's lots of pumpkin, unlike other squash or thing, it's good to grow in a garden because you don't have to feel pressure to cook it within a few days that it's going to go bad, because you can store it in your at your house, and depending on throughout until the next season comes in, you can actually cut it one by one every few weeks, and then you can enjoy it. And also if you give it to your friends, and which is I usually grow and give it to my friends and family members, and they don't have to feel pressure that they have to take it home and cook it within 2 days. They can wait, and depending on when they want to eat, they can. So it is a great vegetable to grow. And now I will show you. I'll cook a dish, and how to. You could saute it. You could stew it with the seafood. There's a various way you can roast it, and then you can smash it to make it a sort of like a paste, kind of a mashed potato kind of thing. So I will show you that how I actually cut. You have to be a little bit of a. This isn't a very hard. So you slice the knife on the one side. Don't try to go on the between because it'd be very tough. So then you go around it to split it, and then on cutting board, then you cut it in sort of like this kind of dice. Set up like a. Then I use actually some people who do knife. It's very difficult. I found that actually a good quality potato peeler will do the job. So I sliced it and I pretty much take the rinds off. A little bit of a green. This is fine if you have a little bit left part of it, but most of the brown part, hard part is gone. So then this is, if I'm roasting it, I could put in an oven for roasting it. And if this is, I will be making sauté, so I cut it in a smaller dice, sort of like a ½ inch to 1 inch kind of size. It could be smaller based on how much time you have to cut them. So this is these. See, this is actually, I had another pumpkin that I cooked in 3 days. So one portion is here, one there, and I already had last week cooked it. So that pumpkin was slightly bigger, so it still is a good portion of pumpkin that you can have if you split it in half and use it, or 1/3. So next stage, I will show you how to start the cooking. So follow. So now I will show you the spice I'm mixing up and creating the base sauce before I put the pumpkin in the pot for cooking. So what I've done is that if you look at that, I already have some onion, and I caramelized onion a little bit. Then I added garlic. Always when you do use the garlic and onion. So you wanted to put the onion a few minutes before, and then because onion has much more water content than garlic, so then we added that. I've also added a little bit of the ginger paste. That's just kind of like making the splattering, because it is the ginger paste. Ginger paste is an optional. Ginger paste will give a little bit of the spice taste and also sort of like a little bit of the Asian taste version. So other so you could have just a garlic, onion, and cook with it, and salt. Eventually you will add later on. That would be very simple version. So if you want more flavor, for example, I added ginger. So other thing that if you are a person who likes a little bit of the chili pepper, so I have here the green chili pepper. So this is the spicy green chili pepper, so I'm using it. So the chili pepper gives some flavor, also the spice. So other option is that if you wanted to have more robust flavor, so this is the cumin seeds. So I could add a little bit of the cumin seed to it, but not necessarily you have to it. So there's no basic rule that you go in a recipe that you have to add this one. Always you can customize based on your taste. So for me cooking, it's just trying different things as you like, or different day you could do different things. So there is another combination of seeds called punch front. So there is this is the South Asian seed mix. Punch means 5 and front means they spark. So in ancient language, Sanskrit or South Asian language, it would mean that it is a 5 sparks seed mix. So it has a cumin already and other seed, including mustard seed. So this will give it a very different, complex, robust flavor. So today I'm not going to use this one. But other things that you could do is that this is a called black cumin. So you see the color of the black, and this seeds actually not only South Asia, the entire middle, even the region in Africa around Egypt or that region. So this seeds is very popular. And the seed has a very good medicinal value. So it's herbal. This is various cooking. It's used a little bit, so I will use this a little bit today. And also this 5-seed mix also has that's a few grains of this, but this is I'm adding extra. Also based on that, you could add it chili powder or turmeric if you want. So, but that's an optional. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to cook this because already have it. So I will add some water, and we'll then go to next step. So I already added the water, and I cooked the sauce. If you can see here, it's already coming together. The reason I added the water to combine all the sauce together. So this is the time for actually to add those pumpkin in and cook them. So first I do is I don't cook everything. I will do a little bit of, and it's just a technique that you want to do when you have a small amount. You can actually mix the sauce a little better with the pumpkin than everything. Then you will not have that much room to move around. So now I'm done. I will put another herb, and then I will do the same thing. So this way actually the spice is the sauce that I had with onion, caramelized garlic, actually getting mixed together all over the place. And then I do the last portion, and that's it. As you can see that I had some bay leaves in it, so that's bay leaves, so we get a little bit of flavor. And even Western cooking, French or Italian cooking, Spanish cooking, bay leaves is used. So this is a very common spice. So now I have mixed it up, and I will cover this with lid, and I will reduce the temperature. So because I did not add any water in it, and the reason that pumpkin has a lot of water, and if I would have used water at the beginning, so it would be almost like a stew. So I wanted to cook this pumpkin in its own, the water container has slowly, and if I had the fire very hot, so the bottom would be started to get too dried, and it would be started to stick into the pot, and it would get burnt. So lowering the heat actually creates with the lid, it creates that atmosphere that moisture can kind of move around inside the pot and started to cook the pumpkin. So next step, I'll show you that once the pumpkin is ready to be finished, and you will see that how that looks. Husband on, so that's why probably we would hear lots of noise earlier section of that. So I have, so this is almost cooked. I didn't add any water, so what you see is actually from the pumpkin. And I added the salt just a minute ago, so at the very last. So one of the things that when you're sauteing any vegetable, add the salt later, because if you add salt, it's going to release lots of water, so you would not have the way of cooking with the heat vegetables. So adding the salt is at last is the best way of cooking sauteed vegetable. So if you were cooking a stew, that would not matter because the whole thing is cooked in a gravy. But this is so this is done. So so try at home. There is as I showed, that various spice you can add. There is no recipe I would say that all written in like a stone. So you could change the way you like, and always try a different way and find your best what you can make the best, or which tastes better for you. So try to grow some vegetable if you have a space. And I had posted various videos about gardening and other videos. So please subscribe my video, click on the subscribe button, and then you will be able to see that video list. And so thank you for watching.